What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be self-growth, Virgo, and all the ways that you can embody the best version of yourselves. And just so, in case you're all aware, just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Virgo. Now, with this self-growth spread, we're switching things up a little bit. You know, I've been thinking about just changing things up for a little while. We're just gonna go to higher self says stop. You know, we're switching things up, Virgo. It's at that time we're just getting into it. And also, I got some exciting news as well, because we're going to add on an additional thing as well. I got an oracle deck over the weekend. I met a lovely Sagittarius, and I don't know what compelled her to do it, but she got me one. I've been thinking about it for a little while, just kind of on and off. Nothing had resonated with me, and then here she comes in, just bringing it in. So of course, you know, we had to debut it. So the decks that I'm using are this one is the Astro Matrix Tarot deck, and then the other one that I'm using is the Anatomy of a Witch Oracle deck. So hopefully you'll like those, and I'll include a link down in the description box for those, just for in case you were curious. But let's see what we're working with so far, Virgo. We got a small little stack cooking up here. Let's see what's going on for you in self-growth. Interesting. All right, Virgo. So it seems like you got a lot on your plate is what I'm looking like right off the bat here, and it's really kind of messing with this. I really feel like you're just kind of like your work-life balance, or even just kind of this, there's something that's not in alignment here. You know, you got Nine of Swords and Ten of Wands here, and I feel like that combination there is really just kind of just gotten you in a place of just maybe you've been feeling extra, I don't want to say sensitive, but maybe you're just kind of quick to snap, possibly. You know, there might have been some conflicts that might have been going on, whether at work, maybe at home, you know, wherever that's kind of looking like, if this is resonating with you, Virgo. But it just seems like that maybe it might be time for a little bit of hermit time. I feel like I tell you that quite a bit, Virgo, but hey, I'll say it again. Just because I just feel like right now, you know, we're at this place of where it seems like there's something internally that's going on, and it may be maybe your people around you might be kind of getting the backlash for that. And it could be too, you know, maybe they came at you the wrong way, Virgo. You know, I'm not saying that you're just going around starting stuff, but I feel like maybe it's something that when it's happening, we may be just kind of little quick to just like jump on in attack mode here, where it's just like, you know what, I'm not in the space to deal with this right now. I'm gonna step away for a second. You come correct next time. You know, I feel like there may be a better way of maybe going about how we're tackling this stuff here. Maybe not coming in so hot. You know, I feel like some of us might need to kind of slow down a little bit, maybe with this Knight of Wands coming up, because I feel like you're in this place of just like, maybe things have been kind of stressful with, let's say, for example, with work. Maybe you've had a lot on your plate as far as like different projects coming up. You know, maybe it's just been kind of back to back to back, or maybe you're just, maybe whatever's going on in here, maybe we've been trying to use work as a distraction. You know, we're just sort of like, we're hoping that, you know, we keep ourselves busy enough, then we won't have to deal with whatever this kind of Nine of Swords is that's, you know, might be kind of weighing down on your head. Because Nine of Swords is one of those cards that, you know, or energies that it's, no matter what you're doing, it seems like it'll find some way to kind of, you know, sneak into your world. You're going for a jog, you see let's say you're mad at someone, you're going for a jog, and then you see every jogger on the way by, they look just like the person you've been fighting with. Or, you know, you're going to do some dishes, or, you know, things are breaking, you know, maybe we get caught up in traffic, you know, just random things that just seem to keep this pot just a boiling here anymore. And you know, I feel like it's time, whatever this is, you know, maybe this is something that I'm not sure if it's an argument. You know, it could possibly be something like that, but I feel like there's something possibly deeper here, Virgo, that we've been kind of holding on to for a while, and it's it's just starting to, I think maybe we've been ignoring it for so long that it's just starting to bleed out into our environment here, you know, because that's something when you're not in balance, you know, that higher self has a way of, if we're not taking the internal signals in, it's, you know, we gotta go, you know, kind of seek outward, you know, kind of stretch outward here. And that could be something too. Maybe some people have been trying to bring this to your attention, Virgo, and maybe that's not been met, you know, with it might have been met with swords as opposed to with, like, you know, an open ear, Virgo. So it's just something to consider, you know, if this is resonating with you, because, you know, I get where, you know, maybe you don't want to be vulnerable with this thing, you know, but if it's starting to affect your soul, you know, get it to where, you know, you're taking it out on your soul tribe or those who you hold near and dear to you, you know, we got to sit down and question that. You know what? Wait, well, that would have been something, Virgo. See, Virgo, if we ignore this stuff, could have potentially become a big old mess on the floor. And so I feel like, you know, I'm gonna take that as a sign, Virgo, that it's getting a lot more than we should probably really shoulder here. Because when I think about 10 of Wands, you know, that's depending on what's going on, you know, that's really can be just like an unnecessary burden. You know, 10 of Wands can be like if we carry any kind of regrets that maybe, you know, I should have said this, you know, or if I could go back in time, you know, I would have done that. And then, yup, you get caught in a spiral there, Virgo, a devil loop, because that's right in the devil's wheelhouse. When we get into places like that, when we get into what if I had went back there and told this person this thing, or, you know, that thing, or, you know, I'm getting like really kind of with all this heat that's coming in. You know, I feel like maybe there's someone, maybe we had just like a falling out with in the past, and we're just kind of playing this thing on a loop here. You know, even though this person maybe you told them what's up, and, you know, there's been distance, but if it's still something that's been kind of circling on your mind, Virgo, that's something that you're still giving power to that person. And if we're really kind of over this situation here, it's time to start taking some steps for it. And maybe too, you know, if this person is on your mind, if you're in a place where you can have like a, you know, at least something where you can kind of hash this out, set that up. And if not, if you feel like it's necessary for you to talk this thing out, then maybe find a way to get like a mediator in the mix. You know, this could mean, maybe this is like a past relationship. Maybe some of us are going through like a kind of a messy, let's say like a divorce type of thing, you know, and it's not the most amiable. Well, it's Virgo, we got to deal with it at some point, you know. Let's see if we can let's get a little bit more on this situation here. What else is going on here, Virgo? Yeah, you know, Virgo, I feel like there are new opportunities that maybe you're trying to start some new things. Maybe you've been trying to get a fresh start here, but here's the thing: when we're carrying this stuff with us, it's going to interfere with how we manifest. You know, maybe at first, you know, if we've just been maybe kind of like forcing this thing, you just sort of just like, you know what, F them, I'm moving on, you know, I got this thing, you know, and we go to start something fresh, or, you know, maybe we just kind of we move to a new place, you know, hoping to get a new start, and then we find things are okay at first, but then at some point, you know, the same kind of thing keeps happening again, you know, where slowly things start maybe falling apart. You know, you've been trying to get a new plan, and then we reach hiccups along the way, or maybe our inspiration gets how do I want to put this? Maybe gets dulled, or, you know, we get like writer's block, or, you know, not feeling as motivated, or, you know, this is interesting, Virgo. You know, I really think that this is just something that maybe we need to learn to just like, I'm not saying like, you know, forget what this person has done if maybe we've been wronged in some kind of way, but we for sure, I feel like, need to learn to forgive. Okay, I'm gonna take those two, because yeah, it's getting to this place, and I'm thinking it might be some kind of X here, Virgo. You know, that's just with some of you, you know, got Knight of Cups here, but I really feel like that this is something that it's even affecting, I feel like, the way that we're even like our decision making. You know, I feel like it's interfering with like our high priestess energy here. You know, I feel like this is something that's really got you out of whack anymore. I think I'm going to get a little more on these pages. So to start, let's get some clarifiers going on here, because those pages are interesting. Higher self, can I have a little more on the Page of Pentacles, please? Let's see if we can get a little bit clear picture on that, Virgo. Oh wait, Oh, we got a whole stack, Virgo. Hold up. Okay. Okay, we're leaving those. You know, maybe this was someone in the past, when I'm looking at this energy with this person, maybe there were ones that you might have saw a lot of potential in them possibly, and maybe they weren't taking the move. Maybe this is just maybe for some, this could be either the partner that I've been talking about, or maybe this is a friend. It could be maybe even a couple friends. Maybe this was like a group fallout here. But I feel like there was something with one person, that there's something to do with that maybe you saw some kind of potential in them, and maybe they weren't taking action. Things kind of got out of hand, and it just, we got to this place of where I'm not sure, Virgo. It's just like maybe this was like you had invested so much time in this thing, or at least that's what you had thought, or how you're perceiving this situation here. And I don't know if I would want to say this person is ungrateful for your help, or maybe you were expecting a different reaction than what they gave you. But I feel like it's one of those things. If we're worried about, because this is something that we when I think about Virgo energy, sometimes, and this is not a dig at you, Virgo, you're in a judgment-free zone here, but sometimes, Virgo, I feel like when we get into this place of where we try to help people, because you really are healers in this, like in a really broad sense, and like you can, even if this person wasn't feeling what you were maybe selling, you have a way of making them the best at that if you can find a way for it to make sense for them here. So maybe this is something, maybe they had a good start with it, with whatever you were helping them with, but then they realized it wasn't their jam. There was a lack of compatibility with whatever you were trying to gear them towards, and maybe this things just sort of fell apart, or maybe you just like they just sort of abandoned this thing, and maybe that made you feel some kind of way, I'm not really sure, Virgo. That's possibly one scenario. Let's get some. Can we clarify the Page of Wands? Yeah, let's get someone on this Page of Wands here, Virgo, because this is I really feel like it's one of those things that we can not to make light of this situation, Virgo, but I feel like this is something that we can just kind of let go. I feel like you're for some reason, and it could be just because of how close the person was, we're taking this kind of personally, and that's interesting, Virgo, because I feel like it's time to move on. If this is, and think about this too, Virgo, even if what you were pitching was for their best interest, this is what they actually wanted, and then maybe they found out when they got into this thing, like, oh, I didn't realize it was going to require X, Y, and Z, and they've like, well, Virgo, I need you to hold my hand through this thing, kind of walk you through this stuff. It's like, Virgo, you can only force or you really can't force anybody to do anything. If it feels like you have to force someone to do what you would assume would be their journey or their mission here, there's a question mark for everybody in this scenario, because that's something where that person needs to evaluate what they're doing with themselves. And Virgo, why do you feel like you need to take on their journey? You know what I mean? It's one thing for us to collaborate and kind of, work together in this thing, Two of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, but it's a whole other thing to when, we're focusing our energy here, on this person, and it's preventing your new start as well. Like now we're getting into weird kind of territory here, Virgo, and that's something that it's not good for anybody, more. Yeah, let's get a little bit more on this Page of Wands, because it could, oi, all those, okay. We're going to work with all these here, Virgo, because I'm getting they were resisting the transformation, resisting the urge to embrace this new thing here. And then you got more pages here. So maybe this is someone who was younger than you. Maybe this was like, you maybe saw them as like you. Because, it could be too. Maybe this is, it doesn't have to be a relationship. Maybe this is something where you were like a mentor. And maybe you were trying to maybe mentor someone, and maybe the knowledge wasn't being received how you thought that it would. Maybe they thought that they were, maybe they thought they were hot stuff, or maybe, Virgo, maybe how it came across from you, possibly that it could have come across like, and this is, again, it's not a dig at you, Virgo, but sometimes, that when we're pitching stuff, and I got to know enough people with Virgo to testify for this, it can come across as your intention and the tone don't match, and it can come across as like either nagging or and this is just what I feel like people's perceptions are, where, and it's how do we fix that disconnect? I'm wondering if it's just like, is it a delivery thing, but there's some kind of, something's not lining up here. I feel like maybe we're in this place, and that could be too, Virgo. Maybe this is something that it's even deeper than even this thing. Maybe we're in this place of, maybe we feel like we're constantly misunderstood all the time, and we're trying to figure out what that is. Why is it that there seems to be this disharmony? When really all you want to do is really help people get to embody, like what we're doing in this reading today, to embody the best version of themselves. Because really, when I think about the zodiac here, you really are a sign of service, and really of helping. I was just talking with someone about this, that it's when you pour your energy into something, it's amazing what manifests from this thing here, Virgo. And I feel like maybe it's because I'm doing the same thing. There are times where it's like, where I feel like and if I'm noticing areas that like I can be stronger in, it's focusing on that. It may not be, sometimes when you get eyes on it in the moment, it's just like, oh man, that kind of blows. How long have I been doing this thing? But I feel like, once you start taking those steps, and then you start seeing the difference, that it'll start lining up, and things start making sense, because that could be what's going on here, Virgo. And it may be too, maybe asking these people, when that disconnect happens, when you notice it happening in that moment, like maybe see if you can like get approach on it right off the bat. It's just like, wait a minute. Okay, this is what I'm trying to convey. What are you hearing right now? Like, help me, like sometimes that might help, when you've noticed that thing happen. It's because I feel like if this has happened enough, you see all the signs when it's going down. So maybe, when this is happening again, see if you can find an approach that's just like, listen, I'm not trying to come at you, I'm not, whatever it is, but I'm just trying to figure out what's got you on, because maybe people feel kind of guarded around it. Maybe too, Virgo, one thing to think about too, when you are going to help people, sometimes when you point out, the things that they can improve, sometimes people just don't want to hear that in that moment. And it's not anything on you, Virgo, that's on them. And it could be, it might be a soft spot. It might be something where it's just like maybe being a little more kind of observant of that, like if you see them kind of pulling back, it's just like, okay, that's a soft spot. Okay, we don't gotta worry about that thing. It's like, I get where it's like because Virgo, I get it when you see somebody else, and when they tell you your stuff, it's like, oh, if I did A, B, and C, done. You're healed. everything is great. Go on out there and prosper. But it's hard when you sometimes when you have to get eyes on yourself, and then realize that the reality that you've painted, and maybe we've made some weird decisions. Got to own up to a lot of things here. So that could be something too, why there might be some negative reactions to the stuff here anymore. So, a lot to unpack there, Virgo. But I really think that it's something that once we get into the practice of this thing, I know this is Capricorn's card, but really, you, Virgo, you do Queen of Pentacles very well. When I think about taking the tools, because she's the type that people would look at her whenever I talk about her. She's the type that people would think that she's just lucky, but she's the type that works with the energy. She sees the sign and she makes her abundance, manifest. And then when I think about how she heals, she's the type that wants everybody to get in their own type of stability. She's like, here, you can work with the energies too. We just have to figure out how to do it on you. Here's what works for me. Let's try that, and then maybe while you're doing that sparks something in them, and then that sparks something in her, and then they're growing together there. There's that that harmony that we've been looking for, that start, how this whole thing started, this Two of Pentacles, now it's that's how the healing started, Virgo. But it's got to be a two-way street. If people aren't, if they're not buying what you're selling, then keep it moving. And it may suck in that moment. I get you. You might be the type, you want to heal the world, and Virgo, I'm right there with you. And you know what? Let's focus this energy here, Virgo. Like we can, let's go find the people who want it, because we don't want to be in a place where we feel that we're not being appreciated, and because then that even makes it sullies our intention a little bit, where we started off doing this thing, wanted to raise that vibration. Now if we're going at this thing looking for praise, and looking for people to just like thank you, and just like, Virgo, you're so great, you're this excellent, best healer in the lands, and if we want getting to that place, it's just like now we're getting in a weird spot, and when I think about the Six of Wands, this is Jupiter and Leo here. And Jupiter and Leo, that energy is the type of giving without expectation, and knowing that the abundance is going to come, and trusting that that's going to come. It can be a tricky energy, because I feel like a lot of people, like, of course you want to do that, like it can be a tricky game sometime, and even your mind can play tricks on you. It's just like, well, I know you're saying you're doing this thing from the whole of your heart, but would you really be doing this if it weren't for blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah? And it's just like, you know what? Yeah. And then, ask yourself when you're doing this thing, like, if I didn't get anything back from this, is this something that I want to pour my energy to? Like, does this make sense? Is this going to raise that vibration? And go for it, like, I hope that makes sense, because I have Jupiter in Leo, and it's one of those, it's an interesting energy, and I feel like that's what we want to embody, Virgo, anymore. And yeah, you know what, let's move on. Let's bust out the Oracle cards, Virgo. I think it's about that time. Let's get a little bit more clarity on this thing, because yeah, Virgo, I feel like this is it makes sense, Virgo. I feel like, considering your energy, this totally makes sense. And I'm Virgo, I'm with you. It's like one of those things, if people just did what you asked, everything would be solved. And there'd be no wars, there'd be no hunger, everybody be living their best lives. I get it. But we can't force that type of thing, Virgo. Let people come to you for that stuff here. That's while you're waiting on them to come get that greatness here, get your pentacles in order. You Queen of Pentacles with your life. Take that healing energy and make yourself the best best version of yourself that you can be. Because imagine, Virgo, this is what you're doing now, and you got a bunch of stuff that you're dealing with. But once you get this stuff resolved here, you can, there's so much more you can do. There's something that I talk about this with Virgos often. I feel like that there's something deep down that if you really took all that energy that you have and really first start channeling it into yourself, and really understand what you're working with here, you could do something spectacular. You could do, I feel like Virgos would really make, like, great teachers, great life coaches, just any type of, even like maybe some type of holistic healer. I don't know, Virgo, but you really, it's the energies that you have, it's really cool, and it's full of love, absolutely. It really does. I feel like, Virgo, and this, I feel like it does come from a very loving place anymore. And I feel like it's not forgetting that, that because Virgo, I say that just because I would, and I'm always gonna kick it with you, but I would hate to see for you to think that your gift is anything less than love. You know what I mean? And that you feel like it's that people don't appreciate you, because Virgo, people appreciate you. It's just we gotta let them. I feel like really it comes down to just letting them come to you, possibly. I feel like that may help some of us here. Leave those. Okay. So then we got witch bottle, and we got full moon here, Virgo, and I feel like with this stuff here, it's about really kind of taking your energy and just kind of, I really feel like I'm getting almost like a bottle that thing up, and what I mean by that is instead of just pouring all of this stuff out here again and, you know, just kind of like forcing this on people, you know, kind of reserve this energy here. Bottle up a little, you know, this is one little thing you might be working on, this is another little thing, and then someone, these are like metaphors here. And then, you know, someone comes in and asks, it's like, oh, Virgo, I like what this thing is here. It says, oh, perfect. You know, I've saved for this situation, and then, you know, they feel good, you feel good, you know, they're going out and telling what Virgo's doing, and then now we're living up to our fullest potential here, Virgo. You know, then all the things of that Jupiter energy, you know, is coming down, Virgo. Because you know what, and this is I don't think we have a Jupiter and Virgo card, but I was thinking about Jupiter and Virgo because I know a couple people with that placement, and that's one that it's gonna feel that sometimes with that energy that when you do things, it's going to be, you get your fortune from your lessons, you know, and it's you know, the wiser that you get and the more understanding that you have of your gifts, the more that Jupiter rewards that, you know. Jupiter and Virgo is a very it seems like it can be self-sacrificing, but I feel like if we can find a way, just like how we did that sale with the witch bottle here, if we can find a way for those energies to kind of commingle together, so where that your cups are getting filled, their cups are getting filled, and, you know, there's reciprocity happening. You know, I feel like that's where the growth happens, Virgo. You know, with your energy, you know, I feel like that, and it's gonna take some time. You know, that's the best part of this journey here. You know, like, don't let that become like a daunting thing. You know, that it gives this whole thing purpose, you know, because if you got this all figured out, then there wouldn't be nothing to do, Virgo. We'd all be bored, and ain't nobody got time to be bored. So let's, yeah, you know what? Let's switch back over, Virgo. It's like we're just gonna stare at the cards all day, but I think I like that. Well, I don't think I like that. I like that, Virgo, and I hope you like that too. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. So give that a thumbs up if you liked it, and share this thing, Virgo. This is something that it's one of those things, it's just like how you see other people, Virgo. I'm just like, man, if Virgo would just do this, it'd be done, Virgo. The game would be set. You really can change the game up, Virgo, and it's so cool. So I really share that thing because I really feel like that every time I see this energy that you bring me, it's just like it sends me through the roof because I see what you're bringing that full moon energy, and that's, I'm a Cancer, and who doesn't? To see the ruler popping up out like that, of course. And you got the high priest. Come on, Virgo. Subscribe, hit that bell button. See, I'm about to geek out here. Hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. I'm getting better about getting on social media. I've got a lot of stuff that I've been cooking up in the mix here, so stay tuned for that. It's, you know, big stuff coming up on the horizon. And then lastly, you know, since I was telling you, you got the High Priestess and you brought a full moon, you definitely had a couple tickets to the Chariot and Friends. Not that you needed one. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, you know, hopefully you didn't, but maybe this person you were dealing with was a Cancer, you know, come over to the Chariot Friends. You know, check out, I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and all that housekeeping is in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards now that we're rocking it like that. So let's see. So for the first one, you got the Hanged Man here, Virgo, and then for the Oracle card, we got the Play in reverse. So here's what's up, Virgo. I feel like it's time for you. I think it would benefit you to, like I was saying earlier, you know, I feel like I always tell you to hermit. I feel like it's time to think about a new way of going about how you operate, you know, how you go about utilizing your energy. You know, I think that you're and it's coming from a loving place. You know, I feel like we're so quick to want to just throw our solutions at people, and that may not always be well received, you know. And it's, again, I don't feel like that's any fault of your own here, but I feel like right now, kind of be more so with yourself, kind of understand your energy here. And if we've not been having any kind of fun here, you know, I feel like it's time to just go do something that brings you joy, Virgo, whether that be going, you know, walking around in the park, you know, maybe going to the beach, weather permitting. It could be even just like, you know, if you just chilling at home, just kind of zenned out with a good book, just anything that can get you sort of in a relaxed state, just so that we can kind of contemplate some things and sort of ruminate on some stuff, and, you know, see if we can start utilizing our energy a little bit differently, Virgo. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. Virgo, it's always a treat. Stay safe out there. And I can't wait, Virgo. When you raise that vibration to the moon, it's coming. We're setting our expectations high here, Virgo. I believe in you. And I will catch you on the next one later.